Hey guys, Tom itself here. I realized it had been a while since I got a commentary out and figured I should do another one. So here we go. I've just been busy and I have another high effort video in the works. It's going to be at least another week, probably two before that's done, but it is looking great and it's really something to look forward to. Anyway, game of Domination on Downturn, and I've been trying to use all the different guns, finished most of the attachment challenges for them. I stopped prestiging, I've got all my custom classes now, so hey, why not? So this is the CM901 with a holographic sight and a heartbeat sensor. I know the heartbeat sensor isn't considered the most legit way. I don't know. The thing is that my team does such a good job of keeping UAVs up, shooting counter UAVs down, that using portable radars, that it really doesn't tell me anything that I don't already know on the minimap. And so, other than the very start of the game, the heartbeat sensor has very limited use for me. I have to stand still, I can't shoulder the gun, or it's completely useless, and I don't have a very good feel for how far out on the little scanner the actual range is in-game. So, at the very beginning of the game, it lets me know how many people there are at minimum. I heard that guy above me and just waited for him to hop down. Normally I don't like letting them get past me. I like shooting into their spawn, not back at mine, but he wasn't going to be able to shoot any of my teammates, so if you'd, yeah, why not? This is going to be the safe way to go, so let him hop down and just shoot him in the back. As most of you already know, the CM901 has one of the slower fire rates in the game. Don't follow. I should not have lowered my gun in that situation. Anyway, CM901, a slower fire rate, especially of the assault rifles, which are already one of the slower firing gun classes in the game, especially compared to the SMGs and machine pistols that tend to have higher fire rates. Now, that'd be all well and good because it's, I think, a maximum of 49 damage of the 100 it takes to kill out to a pretty good range, longer than some of the other assault rifles even. So if one of those is a headshot, it's a kill. But the thing is, the recoil isn't vertical, and it jumps around a fair amount, even with that slow fire rate. So I find I have to go for chest shots and not headshots, because again, the recoil, it's not completely vertical, it's a lot left to right, and so if you're aiming for neck and head shots, you're likely end up just shooting over their shoulders and not getting hits. So it ends up being one of the slower killing guns in the game. It's also hard to let some guy just run through your fire. You tend to have to track them pretty well to get those 3 shots. That's normally what it takes on target. And for attachments, I already talked about the heartbeat sensor in general. The holographic sight is still not my preferred sight for most guns in this game. The glare isn't worth it, and the frame is also pretty bulky, and the extra magnification just doesn't seem to help me that much. I'd rather go with a red dot, and if I really want another sight, I'd go with the ACOG, mostly because that outer frame, while it's still pretty bulky too, at that point it's further out and I could see more of my target. Now, given that this gun already has a fairly decent range, putting a silencer on it, which reduces that range for the damage drop-off, is fairly useful. It's slightly slower firing, so if they don't hear you firing, they're not quite sure where you are, it might work a little better. I don't know, when I tried the silencer, when I did the silencer challenge, I had a fair amount of luck with it, so if I were just to run this gun, I think I would probably run a silencer on it, probably with the red dot. Can we say at this point that the attachment proficiencies is clearly the best proficiency on most guns, like submachines, assault rifles? You can run the other proficiencies, but having another attachment just seems to be so much more useful than whatever proficiency you would want to use. Actually kind of confused me with light machine guns and the difference between the kick proficiency and the grip attachment. It seems that it's better to run attachments proficiencies and put a grip and whatever else on than it is to put your other attachment on that's not a grip and then run kick. I'm guessing they did that so that you couldn't put kick and a grip on a light machine gun and have a laser beam, but hey, if you want to devote everything you can put on the gun to making it as accurate as possible, what's wrong with that? That's just my theory anyway. And I've earned myself an IMS. These things are a lot of fun. Potentially quite a few kills with them, and some very important kills as they're very effective defensive tools. The thing is, the enemies have to trigger them first before that shell goes up in the air and spins around, and if it doesn't kill the guy who triggered it, it'll find someone else normally. Kill one of his teammates because he set it off. Yeah, that's always good. But the trick is getting them to set it off and not just shoot the thing. It's really obvious sitting on the ground there. It's pretty hard to not have them just shoot it. And if the guy's got sit rep, he's not going anywhere near the thing. So it can be tricky to get it to go off. Now, I find myself wanting to use them, put them in places like where I'd put a claymore. In fact, that's probably a prime example. I'm going to go ahead and move it. I think I put that out one just because I was going to earn another. And you can only have one IMS out at a time. But so you need a blind corner, the corner they're going to run past and not really check. And it can't be like right next to it like you'd put a claymore. You want it a ways around the corner. So I think later I put one down on Bravo. As they run over it coming from Alpha, that's a great place on this map. On Hard Hat, as they're coming down to A from Charlie side, there's two routes and they kind of go around this big pillar, and putting it in the middle of the pillar often works pretty well. Things like that. You want it several feet back from the corner so that they don't see the huge thing as it sits there, and hopefully it'll go off before they see it. And even they'll hear it go off, and a lot of guys will turn and shoot the IMS and oftentimes take it out just before they get killed, and it's, what are you going to do at that point? So, but when they work, oh, they are great. But the thing about the IMS that really doesn't work for me is that you can only have one out. I think I said that. And that if I wanted to go for higher kill streaks, I'd run a Predator instead. There's no reason to get to 5 and then have to wait before I get to whatever my next thing is, like say it's a Reaper. I want to get to that as soon as possible, and even if the IMS kills are really important for defending, or even if it can get 3 or 4 kills, that's going to take a minute, and the Predator is a right now kind of thing. And if the spawns get flipped around, the position I put the IMS in, it's probably not going to be quite as effective in its new position if they're coming from a different spawn than where they are when I had put it down. So I don't know, it seems odd that you can only have one, but it's not great to work on stacking up 2 next kill streaks. Still, if I could learn some very effective IMS positions for given spawns and game types, I think it could do a lot of work for me. It's just that, well, I'm not sure how it plays into stacking onto higher kill streaks, and when you can only get one, if you're doing great, you're earning them faster, and then they can get used up. So I don't know, we'll see. Wow, I feel kind of bad, kind of having a rambling commentary here, no real specific point in mind. But again, I sort of wanted to get something out there. I guess the other thing is that while my KD is actually up, I'm up to like a 227 something. I mean, just obscene as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it shouldn't be that high in all rights, but it is. So hey, whatever. The thing is, I'm not getting many of those 8, 10 plus KD games that I kind of like to post on YouTube, that YouTube kind of expects. So KD going up, not getting many YouTube games, and it's because I play to win. Frankly, I'll run out there to try to defend a point when I know it's likely that it'll die, even if it'll happen later in this game. It's just, I'd rather win, be certain of the win, than worry about some little KD stat that is it's so high at this point that I really don't care. It's going up still, and I don't understand it. That was a 25 kill streak. The only reason it wasn't a Moab is because some of those kills were with the Assault Strike Package rewards, the IMS, and the Airstrike. I was getting close there saying, hey guys, can we let them have a point? And then I go ahead and die right as soon as we'll let them have a point. And then I run out to get myself killed. That's okay, that was a fun game. Of course, the other problem is, as always, start having a great game and the other team leaves. What are you going to do? Anyway, high effort video coming out in a week or two. Really look forward to that. I really enjoy editing it and putting that together for you guys. But as far as this video goes, I think this is it, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Oh, fine, let's do some links. First video is me running around with submachine gun hip firing people. Lots of fun. Second game is some tips from my friend Dan, who's been having a little bit of trouble with Modern Warfare 3. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.